clouds. Dark clouds are gathering as markets shudder. Stocks are sinking. Currencies are stumbling. Fear and uncertainty is reigning. And the Middle East and in the Ukraine and Taiwan, the debt is endless. Yet one asset stands firm: gold. It is a biblical currency. In crisis after crisis, gold is there, in the background, always there. Its enduring value guards against loss, like a missile shield against incoming. While paper wealth burns, gold persists. Shield your savings against the looming threats of war, recession, contagion, and avoid the frenzy panic of the unprepared. Take control in the chaos. Your fortune favors decisive action. Get a hold of gold now before it's out of reach. Go right now to noblegoldinvestment.com or just simply go to the link below, www.pastorpaulgold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com, or call them at 877-646-5347. You'll be glad you did.
An unexpected statement from the American military reveals the arrival of a U.S. nuclear submarine in the Middle East. This deployment is likely intended as a deterrent to regional adversaries, with Iran warning that the U.S. will face severe consequences in the absence of a ceasefire in Gaza. Quote, "Our advice to the Americans is to immediately stop the war in Gaza and implement a ceasefire. Otherwise, they will be hit hard," Minister of Defense Mohammad Reza Ashtiani said, Reuters reported. Now, according to a statement from U.S. Central Command on Sunday, an Ohio-class submarine is entering its designated area of responsibility, coinciding with Israel entering its 31st day of the conflict, the Daily Sun reported. As reported by CNN, a social media post seemed to depict the submarine's presence in the Suez Canal, situated to the northeast of Cairo. Quote, "On November 5th, 2023, an Ohio-class submarine arrived in the U.S. Central Command area of responsibility," U.S. Central Command said on the social media platform X. Now, the geographical scope of Central Command encompasses the Middle East region, and although the specific submarine was not identified in the post, it is worth noting that the U.S. Navy operates 4 Ohio-class guided missile submarines. These vessels were originally designed for ballistic missiles, but were converted to launch Tomahawk cruise missiles, replacing their nuclear-tipped ballistic missiles. The Israeli military expressed its approval of the deployment of the U.S. nuclear submarine, characterizing it as a stabilizing presence for the Middle East. Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds is preparing to officially endorse Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. This endorsement comes as former President Donald Trump continues to maintain a strong presence in the Hawkeye state. Reynolds will formally declare her support for DeSantis during a rally in Des Moines on Monday evening. DeSantis' supporters are optimistic that this endorsement will provide a much-needed boost to his presidential campaign, which has seen a decline in the polls over recent months. The Des Moines Register characterizes this endorsement as a significant victory for DeSantis, who aims to leverage Reynolds' popularity among Iowa Republicans to revitalize his campaign and position himself as a viable alternative to the frontrunner, former President Donald Trump, in the crucial final months of the race. Reynolds is not limiting her support to just the endorsement. In the days to come, she is set to actively advocate for DeSantis, Breitbart News reported. She will engage in a meet and greet on Tuesday and is also scheduled to attend a fundraising event in Miami this week. These efforts are in preparation for the 3rd Republican primary debate, which will be hosted in DeSantis' home state of Florida. While exploring an antique store, shoppers often stumble upon various oddities, but a particularly unsettling discovery was made by an individual in a Florida antique store. According to Lee County Sheriff's deputies, they were summoned to a North Fort Myers, Florida store after a shopper, coincidentally an anthropologist, spotted a human skull in the Halloween section. According to detectives, the store owner explained that the skull was part of a storage unit acquired several years ago, Local 10 reported. Authorities are collaborating with the local medical examiner to examine the skull and have stated that there is no suspicion of foul play in this case.